Howdy, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Coffee on the Dark Side podcast.
Coffee.
And as you can see, there's another guy presenting this week.
Coffee.
You've had your coffee. You've
Chocolate milk. Name the reference. Name the reference.
That's cheese from Foster's.
I love chocolate milk.
Hola, soy Eduardo. I like chocolate milk. Me too. I like chocolate milk.
The most funny and the most annoying
That's
imaginary friend
He's probably the Jar Jar of comics, of cartoons.
of imaginary friends.
Yeah.
I think that honestly the Jar Jar of cartoons is Didi.
Nah, I don't think so. Dee Dee is annoying, yeah, but I don't think she is the Jar Jar.
In our time, what would be the Jar Jar?
It depends on the timeline. Probably Billy from Billy and Mandy. Cheese from Foster's.
Okay, yeah.
Um, and that's it.
From characters that would appear more, yeah.
Cow from Cow and Chicken.
Disagree.
No, the red guy. The red guy from Cow and Chicken. That's really his name, Red Guy.
Yeah. I wonder who was the copy, the red guy or the devil on Powerpuff Girls. I think it was the one in Powerpuff Girls.
What?
In terms of who appeared first, a sassy devil.
I think that, yeah, him is older. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he was the best villain from the Powerpuff Girls.
Aside Mojo Jojo, in my opinion.
I don't see Mojo as a villain because he has a couple of episodes where he kind of is
He's
the
the good
hero.
guy.
Yeah.
I think that the best episodes in Powerpuff Girls for me is actually two episodes. One is when Mojo Jojo and him gather together and create the Puff Guys.
Yeah.
I don't remember the.
That's a I think that I read somewhere that that's like a homage,
Yeah.
if you will, a homage to the the League of Injustice from DC. I think that their idea was actually pay homage to those comics.
Makes sense. And the other episode is when they discovered that Mojo Jojo is also the son
Yeah,
of the doctor,
of Professor. Yeah,
of Professor. He was the lab helper, but he screwed up everything and broke everything. I love that episode.
I think those are two of the best episodes.
And the episode that disturbs me the most is when the germs attack
Yeah,
and they multiply.
the Amoeba Boys.
The Amoeba Boys, and then Powerpuff Girls go like 1 + 1 = 1, million plus million equal 1, and they're like, no, no, what are you teaching to kids? Favorite cartoon of your
Ever.
childhood?
Ever.
Yeah,
Probably Ed, Edd n Eddy,
yeah,
the Biker Mice from Mars,
yeah.
and I was going to say South Park, but I think I enjoy American Dad more.
Yeah. I'll probably choose Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, top 5.
Top 5. Another from the top 5 is Dexter.
Top 5, yeah. That episode where they kind of make an episode dedicated to Speed Racer
Yeah.
with the lip sync and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Or that one when they want to bring they use the decode devices on cereal boxes,
yeah,
and he calls for they want to call the Rumble guys and the unicorns, and then the unicorns are the bad guys.
yeah. And it's fun. It's funny because Dexter has kind of some characters who kind of mirror the Avengers. Major Glory and all that. With a guy that looks like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Those guys are mirroring the Avengers.
It was like a Hulk.
I think it was purple or something.
Actually, do you remember those guys on Dexter? There were like superheroes. One was like Thor with a guitar.
Those are the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Captain America, Thor, and Hulk.
It was Major Glory, I think. Was Captain America.
Yeah.
The guitar guy, I can remember the name, but yeah, he was kind of Thor. Yeah. And then there was the guy. I just remember Major Glory's name because he's the one that appears the most. I think.
It was like the main.
Yeah. I think he's the one.
Or the monkey. Do you remember the monkey?
Yeah.
The monkey with the powers.
The monkey, yeah.
Hey, there were some good guys. Another show that I really liked.
Johnny Bravo.
That too, but I wasn't going to say that one.
Johnny
Kids
Bravo.
Next Door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kids Next Door to me, and the movie for the ending is brilliant.
Actually, The Kids Next Door is not the only cartoon with a movie as a finale. The Ed and Eddie also has a movie.
And
in the end in the movie,
what was the name?
We find
Recess,
yeah. That's from Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Disney.
I remember seeing the movie on theaters.
But on the Ed and Eddie movie, we finally know Eddie's brother.
Yeah.
And we kind of discover he's a bully, and the guys all round up to help Eddie, which is nice. We finally see everyone.
It's a proper ending.
Yeah.
Hooray to friendship. So news this week.
I was just checking it out. There's not a lot.
Yeah.
There's just. But speaking of Star Wars, and this is kind of Star Wars related. Apparently, Warner Brothers or Warner Media has hired J.J. Abrams to write and direct TV shows, movies, and video games, which is funny.
Smells like
until
Warner Bros is trying to be a fuck up.
I don't think so. Because on a good day, Warner Brothers can bring
good shit.
Can do some great shit, yeah. And hiring J.J. Abrams, who is a very experienced Hollywood director and producer and writer, and with an extensive resume with very different genres. He has Star Wars and Star Trek under his belt. Let's not forget this. I think that until 2024, I think that we can expect good things from Warner Brothers.
I think they should release a game called Trek Wars.
Trek Wars,
because it would match Star Trek with Star Wars.
Ah.
And he's the guy who has made both. Nah, just a stupid idea.
I don't think so. It's
Trek Wars.
It could work. If the right guy was
ahead of it.
Yeah, if the right guy was ahead of it, yeah. Why the fuck not? Yeah.
And
I mean, Star Trek is the whole reason Star Wars was ever made. George Lucas was a massive Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
And Star Wars is actually the reason that the creator of Star Trek, I can't remember his name. Star Wars was the main reason that the creator of Star Trek continued to push
forward.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
With
The
more
next
shows,
generation.
with movies. So we're
Deep
kind of the
Space Nine.
fans. We're kind of the fans who created this divide between the two of them.
They were the fans of each other, but also were the biggest competitors between each other.
Yeah, this is like Marvel and DC. You can actually enjoy both.
Yeah.
This is like
But
Ronaldo and
don't tell the the big ass fans
Yeah, yeah.
because they'll fight
this is
on the
like
bar.
this is like Ronaldo and Messi. You can enjoy them both.
Do you imagine? Did you imagine if there were like, soccer hooligans?
Football,
Soccer,
football.
football hooligans.
I'm not an American,
Sorry,
so I call it football.
sorry. You know, hooligans of that sport, so we play with a ball and you hit with the
Hooligans,
foot.
yeah, hooligan. I know what a hooligan
Yeah.
is.
Imagine if there were like nerd bars and hooligans for the franchises.
There should be a show. There should be a show where hooligans would sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons and other kinds of nerdy games.
Well, hooligans have like fantasy football league,
It's not the same thing,
but it's a nerd because they do the math.
but it's not the same thing. I mean, those hardcore hooligan fans actually sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons with each other. I would love a show like that.
Well, you have.
Of course,
Vin Diesel plays
of-
D&D.
But Vin Diesel is not a hooligan. Vin Diesel is actually a really sweet guy with a lot of muscles.
John DiMaggio, I think that's the name of the guy, plays D&D.
Again, not a hooligan.
No, I'm not saying they're hooligans. I'm just like for the appearance of what they've done
Oh, yeah,
up to
yeah.
nowadays. Like Vin Diesel made a big ass name for himself with Fast and Furious, XXX,
And other
and
macho
others,
driven
movies,
game.
Riddick. And then you go see him play
Yeah.
D&D. The funny thing is, he played D&D with his character from Witch Hunter. There's a movie like it was made about the witch hunter, almost like the Witcher, you know. It was like trying to catch this witch, secret order, flaming sword, and all that. And Geek and Sundry, I think that was the channel, did episode with Matthew Mercer as the DM. With a special session, and you have two videos, the short one and the long one, and he made new specs for a class for Vin Diesel to play as the character of his latest movie at that time.
Oh, I did not know that. I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Yeah, it was funny because it would describe like his character on the movie would do and all that. I find the good thing that the most nerd famous channels do is they have playouts of Dungeons and Dragons and other RPGs, and mostly the players who are invited or stay for the long show are like voice actors and theater actors, movie actors. So they have a special way to do the performance. They actually do the voices and all that. And what the DM in these cases usually complains per se is that most of the people say, "Oh, you guys are amazing. How can I be that amazing? I'm trying to do a game session, but it doesn't go as well as yours." And he always says, "We're voice actors. We do this for a living."
Yeah.
And this, in the case of Critical Role, they're a group that were playing before, and then the channel gave them an opportunity to bring the show to others to see, but they never wanted to change anything For example, nowadays one of the things that if you do a stream on Twitch and all that showing Dungeons and Dragons play out, some channels do like a backers option. Like those who are watching can vote or give money. They do it when it's charity reasons. They like make it able for the fans to contribute. But most of the times, with the ideas at the beginning to fans to decide and fans contribute and all that, just giving ideas or point or whatever, he said, no, this is our show, this is our game session. We're making it able for others to see, but we're making it stay like that. We want it to be still our thing and others be able to see it. And I think that's just commenting what
Yeah.
a little bit of nerdist.
No, but I kind of understand. I kind of understand what you're saying, and I agree to a great extent.
It's like if you were filming a Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
and the Star Wars movie at the beginning were a friend's project, and they're going to now show it how it happens during the films and the takeouts and all that shit, and then someone has the brilliant idea. Oh, what about if we let the public decide on this option?
I think that's something.
Imagine that
I think that's
in
something,
every theater.
That's something that, well, it's been done in video games for
Yeah.
a lot of time already.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that Netflix has recently started to do. I think that Netflix has a couple of movies
Yeah, the
that
one with Black Mirror.
actually let you select some choices,
Yeah.
and then depending on your choices, you can get
It's like
different
Detroit
outcomes,
and
yeah.
Heavy Rain, but in a movie.
yeah. But it's something that I don't think it ever been tried in cinema. It only works. It only works on a streaming
Digitally,
platform.
yeah.
Obviously.
I think that idea was taken out from those old books of fighting fantasy. The collection of books of player inventions on solo, which you would come across path. And you had to choose, am I going forward, left, or right? If you're going to forward, go to number 14. If you're going right, go to number 116.
Yeah.
I have some of those books at home.
Books in books it's also easy to do.
Yeah. And then the idea passed on to video games, especially with video games that have multiple endings. But imagine if this would happen on the theater.
It started on story-driven games like Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
But this kind of thing came before.
Yeah.
Obviously, it came before. But the first one that I remember right now is Heavy Rain. Games like Heavy Rain.
I remember another, even previous to Heavy Rain. I think the name of the game was Caroline.
Yeah, I think
It had like a lot of endings.
yeah. But I can't be sure.
It had very multiple languages. I'm just not sure who came first.
It started on these kinds of games,
Yeah.
and then started to pour into action adventure games.
Actually, there's one game previous to Heavy Rain which had multiple endings. Final Fantasy X Part 2.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy is
No, the thing is, if you pass on the game and you want it to be like fast forward, just do the main story, not collectibles and all that, you'll get the bad ending. If you did it all right, you get the good ending. And the bad ending sucked as balls.
it's supposed to. It's called the bad ending.
No, but the bad ending, in the terms of bad ending, should be if you made the poor decisions. Like you have multiple characters and you decide to kill them all. In this case, was just you wanted to pass the main story and usually don't go for the completion mode. And the bad ending, spoiler alert, but I'm going to spoil it anyway because it's the bad ending, not the good ending. If you pass the game without the completion, you would get the bad ending, which was the main female character. You would start to see through her eyes, and she was catatonic, sitting on a chair. So everything that passed on game 1 and game 2 was inside of her head. She would be sitting on modern times on a chair on the balcony.
So it's like the Doraemon ending.
Exactly, the secret Doraemon ending
Yeah.
of one of them, because there are multiple endings about it.
Because of the backlash for that one.
Yeah,
That was the original one.
yeah. The one of the Nobita was on a coma
Yeah.
and everything. It was like that, practically like that.
Okay. I understand why some people may think that's bad. Okay.
It's bad.
It's kind of
It's really bad.
That's kind of the thing I don't have an opinion on, because I think that's
On the Doraemon ending.
no, those kinds of endings where you're actually you're catatonic, you're in a coma, everything happening in someone's head.
It was just
It's an interesting idea, but it's also a cliche.
yeah.
So
I think people just complained about because they weren't used to that for Final Fantasy. You know, Final Fantasy was mostly a game for fantasy, other worlds, and all that. Especially when the church on America started to backlash on Final Fantasy games because Final Fantasy games would bring another religions to the games.
yeah, but you know how Americans are with their religions.
Yeah. Speaking of Americas, all day I dream about sex. Adidas.
Adidas is not American.
I know, but
Oh.
it started with an A.
Okay. Yeah.
You make the connection all you want, man.
It's been 25 minutes and we haven't started to talk about Star Wars. You do
Yes, we have.
You do have this idea, right?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
We've talked like 5 seconds about it
Where?
with J.J. Abrams.
No, I just mentioned Star Wars.
And I was talking about how you would film something Star Wars, then the public would have
And
to
then-
decide.
Yeah, but
Imagine if every theater, I'm going to propose one thing. Imagine a movie Star Wars. Yeah? A Star Wars movie, not a movie Star Wars. In a theater, and every theater, in every seat, would be equipped
stop.
with
Stop
a,
scaring me.
a controller with option A and option B. And during the movie, most of the theater would have to vote on option A
You're-
or option B.
You're scaring me. Stop.
And then it would diverge. And then people would fight because some have seen option A and want to see option B, but most of the guys like option A and still want to watch option A.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would absolutely never ever again watch a movie in the cinemas.
I would propose another thing.
I hate those kinds of. That's why I started to talk about Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And Star Wars has done it in the games.
But it's like it's a game. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a game because in a game you are playing. It's kind of it's the idea is actually put you in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
So it's you who's making the decisions. In a movie, I want to watch a movie because it's a story.
Told by another person.
It's a someone else's story, but it's a story that I may or may not relate. It's not the same thing. That's why I don't like that.
But in this case, you're playing as the producer.
No. Stop. I don't like that those kinds of bad ideas.
It's not a bad idea because I would suggest for us to go to that theater near our place who basically most of the time never ask customers.
Still,
So we would see all the endings,
yeah, but
spend a lot of money, but see all the endings.
yeah, but it's still a bad idea.
It's a wonderful idea. Especially
I would
if Disney wants to make more money.
I would get
This
lost. I would get lost in the narrative, and I think people would get lost in the narrative
I think that the throughout course just to piss off
because
wouldn't.
these kinds of games are. You have this in a game.
Yeah.
You're meant to play the whole game at least
Yeah.
once before.
Doing all the shit.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit Becomes Human. For the very first time you start the game,
You
the
don't
game
go back.
the game tells you to play the whole story at
Yeah.
least once. Heavy Rain did the same. These
Yeah.
kinds of games and these kinds of books actually tell you go through the whole thing
And
with
then
your
go
own
back.
choices
Yeah.
and then go back and do the others.
Yeah.
And I think that people would get lost in the narratives of the movies.
Yeah.
And that's my main concern.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
speaking
talking
of
about
Adidas,
Adidas,
which is a German sneakers and sporting
I just went for the A.
brand.
And corn.
So that you
Corn
know,
is from
I know,
where?
I know. Corn is from the ground
No, corn.
to make
the band.
to make cornflakes.
the band with a K.
It's from California.
America.
Well, California is in America.
Exactly. See, there was a connection. I knew there was a connection.
I didn't tell it. I didn't say it wasn't. I was just perplexed of how you.
It was just a shame.
I wanted to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
That's the,
So.
yeah, Adidas apparently is releasing a sneaker collection.
Yeah.
They didn't
Announce the price.
announce any pricings, but it's the collection is basically inspired in X-wings.
Yeah.
So at least
Lot of gray.
the first images that we got are like in tones of gray
and orange and
with
black.
orange sidings,
Yeah.
and apparently on the back it says the force will always be with you.
Yeah. Yay. Well, it kind of looks nice. The thing is, it probably would cost a shitload.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy them, not just because of the price, but I don't like the bottom part.
Yeah.
That rubber part that it's in
Yeah.
contact with the
Yeah.
ground.
If you would buy shoes related to a franchise, what franchise would it be? If they have to say, you have to buy one pair of shoes
related to a franchise.
related to a franchise,
I don't think I would.
but you have to. It's like pick your poison. You have to.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine which franchise would look coolest.
I will say what my opinion is. Then you give yours.
Okay.
Back to the Future. Those shoes, they're Max that appear on the movie.
Yeah. Probably they're probably the only ones who are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Back to the Future.
Back to the
Yeah.
Future. Especially because they made the shoes
Yeah.
after the anniversary of the movie.
Yeah, but basically the sneakers will be called Ultra Boost something. Ultra Boost X-Wing. And they're due to be released on the market around
December.
around the same date as the episode 9.
So you buy the shoes and then go watch the movie with your new fancy shoes
Yeah.
and kill your foot while you're watching the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently it's Adidas's idea.
Exactly.
And finally we have something from The Mandalorian.
You have, but you don't.
You kind of do, because a lot of people have been asking whether Jon Favreau would be directing any episodes,
Yeah.
including us. We were
Yeah.
discussing that, and I went actually to see the director's list, and I noticed that Jon Favreau was not in any of them.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wasn't he going to like produce
then
one of the the
no,
episodes?
he's producing everything.
Oh,
He's writing everything because he's
Yeah.
the showrunner.
okay.
But apparently he's not directing anything in season 1.
So he's like
But this
doing
week-
contribution with everyone.
But this week, he confirmed that during the season 2, which was immediately confirmed,
Yeah.
he will be directing at least one episode in the second season.
Okay. So it's like he's writing the main story, but giving enough freedom for it to be an amazing cooperation show.
Yeah, because you kind of need, I mean, when you bring someone like Taika Waititi to direct something, you know that if you give him freedom,
To who?
to Taika Waititi,
Waititi!
if you give him freedom, he will do something very, very cool.
Who?
This guy I'm talking about.
This guy you're talking about!
No, it doesn't work.
No.
With
No,
the,
no,
oth-
that- yeah,
with
the
the
one-
other
yeah,
word
yeah,
works
yeah.
better. If you give him freedom, he will write something good and
Yeah.
direct something good.
I imagine two things of the episode with Taika Waititi.
A lot of colors.
Okay, three things. Three things is one, it's the episode that IG-11 is going to appear.
Probably. Because he's the voice.
Exactly. A lot of colors. And humor. Like stupid Star Wars humor.
Yeah.
That type of humor that most guys would say, why is this funny? And they were all laughing.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's funny.
Yeah. Like that just bad humor for Star Wars.
Which is fun because Taika was recently, also this week, confirmed as one of the actors for the Suicide Squad that will be directed by James Gunn.
That's weird. Who? What?
Yeah.
Why? Who? When? Who?
Yeah. I can't put my finger on the character that they will choose.
The Riddler?
The Riddler's in...
I know, but...
He's not a part of Suicide Squad.
I know, but... Who the fuck would YTD be?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the main shit. You have like the Inferno guy, Croc, two girls,
But...
Deadshot.
But Diablo, Croc, and Deadshot are not returning as
Yeah.
characters. Because James Gunn didn't want to bring any characters
that were used.
that were used without the same actors. That's why he's bringing Harley Quinn with Margot Robbie,
Yeah.
but he's not bringing the others. For instance, because when he
Wait,
cast...
wait. So you're doing a Suicide Squad without Deadshot?
Apparently.
That
It's weird, yeah. It's weird.
that doesn't make sense.
It's weird, but just look what James Gunn did with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm not saying otherwise. I know very little of Suicide Squad. Okay,
Yeah.
but from what I know, doing a Suicide Squad movie
There-
without Deadshot.
I don't think that Deadshot is always there, to be honest.
Go. All day I dream. Oh, they're like. Oh yeah, I forgot the multiple.
What the fuck?
You have to refresh.
What in the actual fuck?
Sometimes it loads bad.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so who's on the team?
So basically, who returns from the first movie is Amanda Waller and Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
At least confirmed.
yeah. Amanda Waller was the
woman.
director.
Yeah. Um, I want to see the membership. See, there's a lot of them.
I can see
Ace
shit.
High, Aladdin,
Yeah.
Master, Atom, Atom Smasher.
Wait, what? Atom?
Yeah, apparently.
What the fuck?
But it's not it's not that Atom. It's not
Yeah.
it's another Atom. It's
Okay.
Adam. It's Adam, I think. Adam Cray.
Oh.
Bane, Beast, Big Sur, Black Adam, Black Manta, Black Orchid, Black Spider, Black Guard, Black blah 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 blah.
So a lot of shit.
I think Scarecrow is also here. Scream Queen, Slipknot, Sledge,
Good band.
Senator Clay.
If they put Slipknot and don't play Slipknot, I'll be
Slipknot was in the first movie.
Slipknot.
He died in the first 30 minutes or something.
Really? The Boomerang? No.
No, that's Captain Boomerang.
Oh,
That's not him.
oh! It's the guy who died because of Captain Boomerang.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, you've seen there's a lot of guys there.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily going to be there, that
Yeah.
shot. Because a lot of people thought, oh, there is going to replace that shot because he cast Idris Elba. And a lot of people who saw the first movie thought, oh no, he's going to be the next Deadshot. What about Will Smith?
Yeah.
And I think that James Gunn said something like that.
No. We are not going to replace the characters. We are giving opportunity to everyone to be different. So basically that.
So, and John Cena is there. Supposedly, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him. I've heard people saying, "Oh no, John Cena's cast," and I looked at the names, and there's like a blank space there.
Dude, I just found out a missed opportunity. I know why they did it because I reviewed that thing why those videos that the guy does the count of why the movies are awesome or bad, and he did a countdown why Deadpool is an awesome movie, Deadpool 2, and you remember the Invisible One. That was Brad Pitt that died electrocuted
Yeah.
on the post, the electrical post. If instead of him was John Cena,
It would be the same
it would funny. It would be funny.
because we wouldn't see John Cena.
We just saw when he died.
You wouldn't see him, so
I think that would be the funny thing.
oh right. I have to put the Suicide Squad. Oh, there's good news. No Jared Leto. Really? Ah,
There
see,
you are.
there's a blank space there. There's like David Bassamalkian. Then
Yeah.
there's a blank space, and then it
Ah.
says Jay Courtney. So where's John Cena?
Do you know the story when John Cena went to an hospital? It was like entertaining kids and all that, and there was a kid like it was going to, and he said to the kid, "You can't see me," because it was doing a movie, and the kid was blind, and then someone told him on the ear, "Sir, this kid is blind." I was like,
the kid,
shit.
the kid wouldn't see him anyway.
Yeah, but the guy said he preferred another wrestler actor, so he didn't give a shit.
He didn't care, yeah.
What else do we have for today?
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
going about Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
He said that he's going to direct episodes
Yeah.
in the second season,
Yeah.
and he he also said that he's going for something that Star Wars fans have never seen yet.
Yeah,
So he basically says every character is important. So doesn't matter if it is a secondary character or a supporting character, whatever.
it's important.
Yeah, he says it's always going to be important.
But the thing is, one, people are directing shit always says that. Second, of course, fans never seen this. No one has seen a live action show of Star Wars before.
I don't think that's.
I
what
know,
it
I'm
means.
joking.
Okay.
I'm being that guy.
Okay.
You were that guy like a couple of minutes before. I'm being the guy now.
Fair enough.
That guy. So beside that, we don't have any more news.
No, that's it.
Well, we had during this weekend we had the most amazing event on Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh yeah, the boots to the ground. I
Boots
think
to the ground.
boots to the ground. So no vehicles,
No vehicles.
no
heroes.
heroes,
Just normal troops
yeah.
and
and
reinforcements
reinforcements,
on capital supremacy.
and on Galactic Assault.
Actually, in Galactic Assault, I either was playing on the wrong day, but I think I saw Yoda.
You were probably on the wrong day because when I played, there wasn't.
It's
And
like,
I was like, what?
I think it was
It's
the
the-
most fair.
It's the third phase of Hoth, and there's not a single lightsaber running around killing people.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
And then you died and tried to buy someone and it wasn't saying like, max users is it? Not for this week.
No, it said not enough credits.
Always.
And then I went online,
Yeah.
and yeah, I noticed. Oh right, then
It's
this
the
is what
event.
the menu was telling me about.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
But I enjoy these kinds of events, and we should have more of these.
Yeah. Like a special mode.
No, not just a special mode. We should have this on the bigger modes.
Yeah. A special day of the week just
More
for this.
time, yeah, more times.
Because it's the only day that I didn't die to someone who just arrived and waved a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then jumped and waved a lightsaber. And then jumped and then waved a lightsaber. And then jump and wave the lightsaber. And then jump and use the force.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. The thing is, one of the most funny moments I've had on this game was because of this event. I was on Camino. My side had all the spawn points. So, who else was spawning on the beginning of the places, and I think I was playing as a droid, and we were camping on the entrance of the spawn point. We were being douchebags. I know it. I don't care. The funny moment
You
was
should
when
get punished for it.
I was, and that's why I laughed.
You should be
because-
more punished.
because the moment I died, I just saw like 20 users of the clones guys who basically grouped up and took the long way and then catch us from behind and kill us all. That was like the most satisfying death that I laughed in years.
Good. You should get punished for it.
Yeah. On my defense, I was just killing bots,
I don't care.
but it was funny.
You should still get punished for it.
Now, the stupid thing is, if you're a tank, a heavy, sorry, not a tank, heavy, and you're using the big blaster, the turret, there should be like a code of if some heavy is shooting, don't stay in front of him.
If anyone is shooting, not just the heavy.
No, the thing is, there was a point that a guy in a droid decker was stealing all the passaway in that door because he activated the shields and was like shooting in front of everyone so no one else would get the kills. And then he died and I laughed.
that's a punishment.
Yeah,
Good,
good,
good.
good death, good death.
This week, I think there's coming the community transmission for Felucia and the clone.
I think it was just in the end of the week of the
no,
month.
no. The update is coming in the end of the month.
The community, yeah,
The community transmission, I think it's coming this week.
Oh yeah, they released a community. A community. What you just said. Transmission. Thank you. About the upgrades and the changes they've done since the play tests on the new
Modes.
the new clone,
Yeah.
the clone commando. They were like doing more tests, improving, changing a little bit the designs of the buttons and all that. They improving. Then just was like, yeah, we've done it and we keep it in this way. And they're releasing the upgrades. They've done it. They changed some things in the radar and all that, and the icons. They added something on the arm of the shoot. But yeah, I think that's
You still need to wait.
yeah. So, how does that feel to go back to the game after months?
Wait.
Weeks,
whoa,
sorry,
whoa,
weeks.
Whoa. I've played once. Calm your titties.
I was just putting you on the spot.
Look at this dude. Calm down. I just played once.
Yeah.
Just calm down. Okay.
Uh,
I didn't play yesterday because I was working.
Yeah, just let me check one thing.
45.
47 minutes up in the episode. So I'm going to propose an activity for both of us. This week I've been talking with a friend about tarot decks.
What?
Tarot decks.
What the fuck is that?
A tarot. Tarot,
Oh, Jesus.
okay,
Yeah.
decks. And they're like there are like several types, but in some decks you have the major arcana and the minor arcana. We're not going to talk about the minor arcana now. We're just going to talk about the major arcana.
That's all Chinese for me.
Yeah, I know. You know those cards of tarot where they have the number and they say the tower, the sun, and the design?
Yeah.
We're going to design options for a Star Wars tarot deck. So I'm going to say the card, and we're going to choose a character or a thing of Star Wars universe for that character.
Dude, that's going to be a long ass time.
No, it's going to be real fast,
Jesus.
and we have like 30 to 20 minutes.
No, you don't.
13 to 20 minutes.
No, you don't. You have 12 minutes. This week you have 12 minutes.
We get to.
I'm on a hurry. I
Okay.
still need to.
Okay,
shower.
the Fool,
The Fool. Jar Jar.
Jar Jar. The Magician,
Yoda.
Yoda. The High Priestess,
The High Priestess.
yeah.
Priestess.
Priestess,
Padme.
Padme.
Yeah.
You sure?
Priestess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Empress.
Or the daughter.
The Empress.
The Empress. Padme.
The Emperor.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
I know this doesn't make a lot of sense, but Palpatine was a loner. He masturbated, so
The Emperor.
he probably had no dick.
The Hierophant. I
No.
never say how to say this.
The Haro what?
Hierophant.
What
I
the
don't
fuck is a
know.
hierophant?
I don't know how to say Hierophant. I never say. I never knew how to say this word correctly.
Hierophant. What is
Yeah.
this?
It's like the Pope.
Oh, the Pope.
Yeah. But
Jesus.
I want to know how to say it properly.
The Pope.
Google, help me out.
The Pope.
See, this is like the Emperor. This is like was like a king. I would say Vader,
Yeah, and
and then
Palpatine as
the Pope.
Yeah.
The Lovers.
So you need two.
Kinda, yeah.
Luke and Leia.
That's
Alabama. No, I would say Han Solo and Leia.
oh, okay. The Chariot.
The Chariot.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is easy. So, in some decks they change the number 8 and number 11. I'm going to say that number 8 is Justice and number 11 is going to be Strength. So we're going for Justice first.
Justice.
The figure of Justice. Mon Mothma. No?
No. I would probably say Luke.
As the Justice?
Yeah.
The Hermit.
The
Hermit.
Hermit. Obi-Wan. Old Ben.
Ben.
Sorry.
Ben.
Old Ben.
Ben.
Sorry.
Ben. The Wheel of Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, a magic card, actually.
Oh, the wheel, not the will.
Wheel.
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 The Wheel of Fortune. Maz. She has that big ass castle.
Actually, the card should be like a thing of connected to a wheel. But okay. Strength.
Strength.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
The Hanged Man.
The Hanged Man.
I'm going to say Han Solo again, but Carbon Frozenite.
Yeah.
Carbon Frozen. Death.
Death. A bunch of stormtroopers. Death troopers, sorry.
Okay. Temperance.
Temperance. What's temperance?
Temperance is like I forgot.
Temperance.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, you're not really
It's like
helping.
an angel that is forgiven.
Forgiving.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Okay.
Following your description, I would say Qui-Gon.
In a ghost form, but
Yeah.
casually. The Devil.
The Devil.
That's one is easy. Darth Maul.
Yeah.
With the horns and all the shit. The Tower. That's one's easy too. Vader's castle.
Yeah.
It's the thing that looks like a fucking tower.
Yeah. Vader's
And
castle.
it appears on one of the movies.
Yeah.
The Star. Now, before you say Death Star.
I wasn't.
Okay, so we're going to say for Star.
It depends on the meaning of star there.
No, actually, a star.
A star.
A star. But be careful, because after Star, and I was going to say because of the Death Star, you have the Moon and the Sun. How about for the Star was a Kyber crystal? Glowing.
Yeah.
And for on the Moon, the Death Star, because that's no moon.
That's right. That's why it shouldn't be the Death Star. Because that's no moon.
But I think it should be because...
And that's no moon. Can't
or
be the
you
moon.
can put an image of Endor. The moon of Endor.
Yeah.
In that case, we can let like the star be the Star Destroyer. The Death Star, sorry.
Yeah.
The Sun. I think it should be the image of the sunset on Tatooine. Because it's the most
The Twin
iconic.
Suns, yeah.
Yeah, it's the most iconic. Judgment.
The Senate. The whole Senate.
Yeah. Or for Judgment, I want it to be like a little bit Force Ghost related, you know. And the Judgment, I always think about either the moment when Luke is facing Vader on Dagobah,
Luke's choice on Death Star. Between killing Palpatine or killing Vader.
or or when Anakin has the two lightsabers at Count Dooku's head.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah,
The Judgment.
yeah.
Now,
That fits better.
yeah. Now the last card, the World.
The world, Yavin.
What about the destroyed planet? The Leia's planet.
All around.
Yeah, in pieces, like when it explodes.
I think that Yavin suits better because it's supposed to be a positive card, right? So
Not necessarily, this is Star Wars.
it's still the same, yeah. Yavin is
Yavin or the ice planet where they built the base for the
I would put that on Judgment. Starkiller base I would put on Judgment.
Judgment. Okay.
The
So
world
basically-
the world I would put Yavin.
So basically, that was the major arcana.
For one reason, because Yavin is the rebel center.
Yeah.
And the rebels are the main force that drives the narrative of Star Wars.
So the world should be the home base of the good guys.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the
Per
bad,
se.
the bad guys. That's why I said Mon Mothma should not be Justice. Because
Yeah.
she's not really she's just because she's the leader of the good guys doesn't mean she's just.
And it was just I said Mon Mothma because
If you look closer,
Yeah.
Rogue One
Yeah.
puts itself to show the bad side of the rebels,
Yeah.
and it shows us how the rebels are just another terrorist faction, despite being the good guys.
Showing the justice could be the Jedi Council.
No,
No, also no.
I would say Luke.
Yeah.
I would say Luke because he has all the qualities that Anakin had,
Yeah.
but not the flaws.
Yeah. So it would be at least episode 6 Luke because not episode 8.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi, Luke.
Yeah. This was just an idea because this week I noticed that we had many ideas,
Yeah,
many things
yeah.
to expect. So a little bit of exercise to exercise the
That
mind.
could be the name for the episode.
Exercises of the
No,
mind.
Star Wars Tarot.
Exercises of the mind. I'll say why exercises of the mind because we talked about role playing games.
Yeah, yeah.
Choose your direction and basically how to create a design for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So now tell me this: in the minor arcana decks, you have it's like almost like a normal type of cards, like the cups and the swords and all that. I usually don't go around with the minor arcana, but from what I've known, there are like several numbers of the same group of cards, and they're like cups and the swords and the other two I don't remember. For swords, you would probably use a lightsaber. For cups, what we use in Star Wars for a cup.
Cup like to drink.
A cup. Mostly when they represent on cards is like a chalice.
Well, Star Wars has those. I don't know if they're rock or something. If they're made of rock, we can see some of those in Mos Eisley's cantina.
Yeah.
I would say those.
Yeah. pretty simple, but already there.
Very Star Warsy.
Very Star Warsy. I was gonna just Google for a bit because we have like how many minutes? None.
None.
Okay. We'll leave the rest of the minor arcana design
For another week,
for
where we
another
don't
week.
have anything.
But the main focus was the major arcana because
Because they're the most they're also the most difficult ones to
and
do.
the graphic ones because the others is just like grabbing an idea or design and redo it several times.
Yeah.
And the minor arcana, just to check in a bit of the minor arcana are the 56 cards of a 78 tarot card deck because the other one were 24. Minor arcana comprise of 4 suits with 14 cards each. Although there are variations of the minor arcana commonly employed, the Italo-Spanish suits. So you have like several types, but the most used are the Spanish Italo variations, which it was cups, as we talked about, swords, pentacles. Pentacles are like the 5. What do you use?
Pentagrams.
Yeah. What do you? No, pentagram is a figure of basically pentagram. Yeah. I was going to say that the pentagrams are the image of a geometric figure with 5 sides, but it would be incorrect. For pentacles, what do you choose? I have an idea.
Probably the Jedi or the Sith symbols.
The Sith symbol. But
Yeah.
not the Sith, the Empire symbol. Because although it's 6 sides, it's the one that it closes to a figure of pentacles.
Yeah.
You know? And last one, wands. Wands. What the fuck will you use as wands in Star Wars?
The Force.
But how the fuck would you
Like
represent?
a hand or something.
Hands of Force?
Yeah.
14 hands of Force?
It's because wands are the Harry Potter equivalent
Yeah.
for the hands to use
Yeah.
the Force in Star Wars.
I would say another thing. Blasters. Instead of wands. Because wands is like shoot a ray of spells.
Not
And the ray of
necessarily-
energy would be
Not
blasters.
necessarily. There are spells who don't.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but normally wands. There are the spells of levitation and all that, but when you're in combat with wands, you shoot rays of energy. So I think the closest thing you have in Star Wars, beside moving objects, it would be blasters. And in terms of things that are in Star Wars, we have lightsabers, we have the cups, and what it misses is like blasters. I think in terms of Star Wars, you need blasters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I can accept that.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
You are like, it's allow it.
Overruled.
Overruled. Pay the man.
Give this man a cookie. Give this man a cookie.
Cookies. So this is for this week. We'll probably call the ways of the mind.
They probably can't hear you there. You're all the way back there.
Ways of the mind. Are you listening to me now? Waves of the mind. Ways of the mind. Mind.
Dude,
Yes.
you should replace your CD tray. Your CDs are all
Mixed up.
jamming in your head. You're repeating yourself. Repeating yourself. Repeating yourself. Repeating yourself.
Repeating myself. Repeating myself. Repeating myself.
Yeah, this was not a very productive week.
No, it was. In
So,
terms of laziness, it was.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
We stay here.
Yeah.
We stay. We have things to do now. It's a long Yes.
So yeah,
Weak.
tell us what you think about these tarot cards.
Yeah.
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 If you have any better ideas than ours, which you probably have,
Yeah. This
please.
was done like without with an hour later coffee,
Yeah.
and we didn't prepare. Just wrote the names of the actual cars.
Yeah, this was very spontaneous.
Yeah. I like things that are
It's nice.
spontaneous.
It's nice. Also, give us your opinion on movies that you can choose the outcome.
Yeah.
I hate that. I'm still
Or,
traumatized.
or things that or games that will change the ending.
Yeah.
I'm replaying Heavy Rain now. I already made the bad choice.
It's very easy to make the bad choices on Heavy Rain.
Yeah. No, Detroit. I said Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant Detroit.
It's also very easy to make bad decisions on Detroit.
But actually, I tried one option
Purpose.
on Detroit at the beginning. You know, the first mission. There's a way for the guy to not at the beginning.
I know.
There's a single path.
I haven't figured it out yet. But I know there is.
Yeah. He stays alive.
Yeah.
I will survive.
Yeah, on that note.
We will survive another week.
On that
Bring
note.
us back to the feet. On that note, we're gonna cry. Now it's time to say goodbye.
I'm trying to stay serious. But I can't.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much, guys. See you next week.
Next week.
And may the force be with you.
you.